For those of you who are nerdy about sunscreen like me, understanding SPF and PA levels on sunscreen bottles. Disclaimer, I am not a medical professional. Please do not take anything I say as medical advice. I am simply a melanoma skin cancer survivor learning right along with you. Sun protection factor. It primarily measures how well a sunscreen can protect your skin from UVB rays, which are the rays responsible for sunburn and can contribute to skin cancer. Now, the key here to understanding SPF is that it only measures the UVB, not the UVA. And I remember this by the B for burning. UVB are the B for burning rays that give you the sun, that give us a sunburn, and they can contribute to skin cancer. The skincancer.org is where I got a lot of information. Sunscreens labeled with SPFs as high as 100 plus are available. I think I've seen one by Neutrogena. There might be one by Aveeno that I've seen here in the States. Though they are rare in the United States. In the US, sunscreens with an SPF lower than 15, which I think is a crime, must include a warning on the label stating that the product has been shown only to help prevent sunburn, not skin cancer or early skin aging. I still see a lot of sunscreen companies with lower than SPF 15. I feel like there are several that are known for their tanning oils. Will have like SPF of 5, SPF of 15. A higher SPF number means more UVB protection. And again, I want to emphasize, SPF only measures UVB rays. It does not measure UVA rays. And we're going to get to that. The sun protective factor, I've got the clock up here because this is how SPF is measured. The SPF number on your sunscreen indicates how long it takes for your skin to burn in the sun. The Skin Cancer Organization talks about the limitations of high SPF numbers. When applying sunscreen correctly, you get the equivalent of 1 minute of UVB rays for a certain amount of time you spend in the sun. The amount of time is based on the SPF level of the product. I'm so glad they gave examples here. For example, a sunscreen with SPF 30 gives the equivalent of 1 minute of UVB rays for each 30 minutes you spend in the sun. This means 1 hour in the sun wearing an SPF of 30 sunscreen is the same as spending 2 minutes in the sun totally unprotected. That right there broke it down for me. I don't know about you, but that really helped me understand. That example helps me understand SPF. Higher SPF numbers do mean more protection, but the higher you go, the smaller the difference becomes. SPF 15 filters out 93% of UVB rays, which is a lot, but not as much as it could be, right? SPF 30 sunscreen filters out 97%, SPF 50 filters out 98%, and SPF 100 filters out 99%. The higher the SPF number, the smaller the difference in protection becomes, which is why a lot of people say SPF 30 and SPF 50, there is such a minimal difference to the protection of those. Next slide. This is a misconception that I definitely had before being diagnosed with melanoma. I literally thought SPF 100 equaled 100% UV protection, and it did not. Before having skin cancer, I aimed for SPF of 15 to SPF of 30, because I thought the higher you went, the less of a tan you would get, which is correct. And I wanted a tan. No sunscreen can block 100% of UV rays, which is why we talk about having a complete sun protective wardrobe with the sunglasses and the hats and staying in the shade and limiting your sun exposure between 10 and 3 p.m. All of that works together. We can't just rely on one form of sun protection. So SPF limitations, because there's a lot of them. We've talked a little bit about this before in my first live stream in August. SPF doesn't give you an exact measurement of time because everyone's skin is different and burns at different rates. So that's why it's so hard. And I think that was kind of a wake-up call for me when I was putting this live stream together. I hadn't factored in that everybody's skin burns at different rates. So SPF can't give us an exact measurement that we want it to, right? That's why some people will put on an SPF 50 sunscreen and be like, well, I burned before the 2 hours were up. Or someone will say, oh, I went longer. I got, 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2.5 hours out of it, because our skin burns at different rates. However, SPF does tell you that it will take X times longer for your skin to burn in the sun. For example, a product with SPF 25, like the e.l.f. Sun Boss glosses, my fave lip glosses, would protect your lips from burning for 25 times longer than if you hadn't worn any sunscreen on your lips. Here in the States and other countries that aren't the Asian countries, that this is what we see, right? Is we have the SPF and it'll say broad spectrum, and you always want to pick up a product that offers an SPF and is broad spectrum, because that means that it offers protection from both UVA, A for aging, which is the broad spectrum, and UVB, B for burning, which is the SPF.